Alright, so if you guys didn't know, the whole point of this channel is to promote privacy and security, and a lot of you guys know me from the Talon video and Talon as a project, but not a lot of you probably know that it's actually created by my group called Raven, and we make software and shit like that. We just try to promote privacy and security. My channel is actually under Raven, if you guys didn't know. I don't know if I've ever made that as clear as I probably should have. So my channel, the entire purpose of it is to ultimately promote Raven and is to ultimately promote our message. Think about it like this. Having a singular brand account with a faceless brand account to, directly just named Raven or whatever with our logo and all that sucks, right? You want someone who actually, you want an actual personality and someone with a, like angry dude yelling in microphone about Windows being dog shit versus bland, boring, generic brand account, right? Which one would you prefer? Well, anyways, point of me making this video is some things are changing with Raven. So if you guys didn't know, we used to have all these members, right? We had 6 members. We opened up applications for membership, and we got all these people in there. We had a writer, UX UI designer, artist, another developer, community managers, stuff like that. We're down to just 2 dudes again. Raven started with just me and Pharaoh, and now we're right back to just me and Pharaoh. And I'll be honest, summer just started for me, and I am tired of having... Listen, I'm just tired, okay? We've been trying to present ourselves as professional, all of that, because obviously we want Raven to work, and we don't want to jeopardize the operation, so we try to come at it with a professional approach, even though we're just a group of dipshits. We're not even like a legal entity yet. We're literally just a bunch of dudes trying to make a difference. So we try to present ourselves as professional and stuff, though. I'll be so honest with you. I'm right back to being the community manager again, essentially. I'm handling like 5 jobs in Raven, and I'm just sick and tired of that shit. So I'm just gonna be me. And look, we've tried different ways to try to keep the community updated and whatnot. Most of you guys watch these videos, so fuck it. I'm just going to tell you guys what the plan is. And I've made a lot of posts, I've made a lot of announcements, stuff like that, regarding what our plans are, because obviously one minute I say, oh yeah, Talon, the rewrite for Talon's coming out so-and-so, and then we have to delay it and stuff like that, or Dragonet, and no one really knows what's going on, so fuck it. I'm just going to outline what's going on. First off, by the time this video is live, this roadmap page will be updated to reflect everything I'm about to talk about. So, the Talon rewrite, obviously May is almost over. It's probably not going to come in May. It's going to come in June. Early June is the plan, because right after this video and right after I update this website and stuff, our focus is primarily on Talon right now. If you guys, a lot of you probably didn't even know. So what we're doing is we're currently working on a rewrite for Talon, because the code base is pretty fucking messy. You see, it was based entirely off a personal Python script I wrote for myself, and then I just kind of built off it jankly to build it into a public use thing. It sucks. So we're rewriting it from the ground up. We're building it from the ground up to be designed for what it's actually being used for, and it'll be significantly more stable, better, everything like that. So that's the plan. And Warden was going to be like a telemetry monitoring utility. We're just throwing that in the trash because who really gives a shit? And also that tool ultimately wouldn't have been all that useful. We are launching an open source project fund in July. So basically we're just going to find a bunch of open source projects we like and throw money at them. We are starting a content creator program in October. That's the plan. And the reason why is because rather than getting our message again through a single brand channel, your favorite YouTuber, your favorite privacy and security YouTuber telling you the news is obviously a much better way to go about it. So we're literally just going to throw money at content creators we like and ask them to talk about shit that we want them to talk about. And that's literally all that's going to be. So Dragonet is going to be essentially long-term here. We want this to be like a viable competitor to email. We want to replace email with this because email's insecure, it sucks, and I don't get why anyone even uses it still. It's just so entrenched in modern day society. Dragonet's going to be kind of like Telegram, but also kind of not. So you run your own identity server and you connect your client to it, the server, and then you talk to other people's identity servers, and then it's basically an entire decentralized communication protocol. So that way you can talk to people. Like the front end of it, it'll just imagine just Discord essentially, but actually secure. That's the ultimate plan, and we want it to be as easy as possible to use, even for non-tech savvy users. So we're working on many different ways to make it easy for you to get this set up, because obviously just by hearing me with that little explanation, it sounded pretty complex, I'm sure. Don't worry about that though. We're working on that. So drop disk and FMCR. If you guys didn't know, Raven wants to be a little more than just privacy and security and stuff, because also all we're trying to do, our ultimate long goal plan is to just fix a lot of the shit that's broken, as far as like the internet sucks, cybersecurity sucks, the music industry fucking sucks too. So if you guys didn't know, it's really hard for music creators, small-time music creators, to get their music out there and to get it heard, to actually get their music heard and to get attention, to actually get promoted, because it costs a lot of money. First off, you typically need to already have connections, stuff like that. It's the music industry is very pay to win, and it's very monopolistic in a way where if your music's not on Spotify, you're kind of cooked. You know what I mean? It's so we said fuck it, and we want to make a record label where you can just submit music to us, and if we like the cut of your jib, we will just promote your music for you. And then obviously we may set it up where we take like a small cut of the money, obviously just for operational costs, but that would be like it, and you just go wild. And we would try our best to promote your music, all that stuff. FMCR, it sounds, kind of goofy. It's the Free Music for Content Repository. Basically, we're just going to have a gigantic collection, a gigantic repository of completely free to use music. And I'm not talking like where you need to give credit, even entirely free, just 100%. Like, you don't even need to give credit anything. And it's all going to be strictly monitored we're going to have extremely high standards, and it's only going to be very high quality music that gets through here. And you can use it for literally whatever, commercially, non-commercially, credit, no credit, whatever, we don't care. And obviously, you may be like, well, how are we going to make any of this stuff sustainable? How are we going to make any money? How are we going to keep this afloat? Well, let me explain it. It's very simple. So obviously, Raven's not in it for... We're not... If I were to try to explain it to a bunch of investors, they'd probably laugh at me, because Raven doesn't... The whole plan doesn't equal a lot of short-term revenue. This is we're definitely playing an extremely long game here, and we're missing out on profits, absolutely, but that's because I'm trading off profits for other benefits, like genuinely making the internet suck less. So as far as open source project fund, the idea is, even though this won't necessarily make money, it'll promote an ecosystem of open source projects that aligns with our ideals that we like, and will generally just help out with our mission. So even though that won't make money, there you go. The content creator program. There is potential for this to make money, but we haven't entirely figured out how we want to go about that. We have no idea. So I'm really thinking the only way this could possibly make money for us is obviously if someone hears about Raven and then they check us out and then they donate or something, right? Dragonet, not going to make us any money. Drop disk is going to make us money again because of the cuts. We'll take small cuts. We haven't decided exactly how we're going to go about that yet. And the FMCR is not going to make us any money. It's actually probably going to drain money, but that's fine. And then Hypert. So Hypert has been pretty vague. I don't know if all of you even know that we're doing that. So think like Aura, think like a lot of those services that you see, Incogni, shit like that, like all the dumbass companies that you see a lot of YouTubers promoting, except without all the snake oil garbage. The idea is we are going to make it as easy as possible, because even if you don't pay us money, we want you to have good privacy and security. We don't want to paywall privacy and security, because that just goes directly against our entire fucking thing, right? It shouldn't be pay to win for privacy. So think about it this way. We are going to host a service, and then we will give you a price, and we will say, if you pay this amount of money to us, we will host this service for you, and we will do these things. And the things will include things like monitoring your accounts for dark web stuff. Like if a data breach happens and you tell us that one of your accounts is signed up with that company, we'll notify you as soon as possible, and you can change your shit. And we'll also have other things like probably secure storage, file checker to check if it's malicious stuff, just generally really helpful cybersecurity stuff. And we'll host it ourselves, and we'll offer to pay, we'll offer a service that's paid, and you can pay us and you can get that service. Or if you don't want it and you don't want to pay us, cool. If you don't want to pay us, we still think you should have privacy and security, so we will have a detailed, as easy as possible guide to show you exactly how to do everything we offer you, and how to even try to automate it yourself at home, and try to make it as easy as possible, because that obviously is very transparent, and that builds credibility, that builds trust, and I feel like people will appreciate that. And here's the thing. If someone looks at that and then looks at the guide and goes through with the guide and doesn't pay, well, they probably were unlikely to pay in the first place. And for the people who look at that guide and go, oh man, look at how transparent they're being. Honestly, this all isn't too hard, but honestly, I think it's honestly worth it to just throw the few bucks so I don't have to worry about it. And then they go with us, and there you go. Like, I feel like that model is genuinely just a win-win scenario. Obviously, we may lose a few potential customers, but I don't give a shit. I think it's worth it. And so, Hypertech being July 2026, this might come a little bit sooner than that, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. As for drop disk, though, we are actually planning, because this is May 2026. There's been a change of plans, okay? We actually are planning on starting drop disk way sooner than that. Drop disk is probably actually going to be out in a few months, along with the FMCR. So we actually have decided that we want that to be out much sooner. And so there will be an email address in the description of this video. And if you want, you can submit some music to us. That email address, if you want to go down there and you're a music creator and you want to be a part of the FMCR, I'm not talking about drop disk and accepting artists for that yet. I'm talking purely about the FMCR. You're not going to make any money. You're not going, again, there's not exactly a ton of potential for you to even get credit for your music, because it won't be required for people to give credit to the music and whatnot. But if you genuinely just want to contribute to something cool, and you have some high quality, decent music, and you think you can contribute, and you really want to be a part of something big like that, you can absolutely submit your music to us. The email address will be in the description. We'll listen to it. If we like the cut of your jib, we'll put it in the FMCR, and there you go. So, it can't be any copyrighted shit. Obviously, we check the music, make sure it's not anything copyrighted. We make sure it's not stolen music, stuff like that, because we don't want to deal with any copyright bullshit. And we won't actually launch the FMCR until we can get certain things set up. Because if you guys didn't know, in the coming months, we actually want to get Raven established as an LLC. Because currently, Raven's not any kind of legal entity. It is literally just a bunch of nerds sitting on their asses doing nerdy shit. So we want to establish ourselves as an LLC, and we plan to do that in the coming months. And then once we do that, then we will be able to do things like the FMCR and whatnot, because we'll have our asses covered legally. We'll be able to form contracts, all of that. Kel used to be the person behind Raven Intel who'd write our articles and all that stuff. Like, you can even see Kel right here. Kel was keeping track of this, writing articles for us, whatnot. Raven Intel kind of stinks right now. It's like one article every few weeks, and it hasn't posted an article in forever anyways, and it's just generally not that good. So what we're going to do is long term, I've always wanted Raven Intel to just be an intelligence hub. So we're going to actually eventually revamp the entire Intel section to include a section right here showing live ransomware updates to show you the most recent ransomware incidents that have happened, probably like the top 5 or maybe the top most recent one or whatever. And then we also are going to have we have built a database of past cybersecurity incidents, past ransomware incidents, based off several threat feeds that we have aggregated together, and we've built a big database on it. And then you'll be able to actually search and browse it and find past incidents and stuff like that. And then we are also working on entire database for threat actors. So ransomware threat actors, details about the groups, their links to their Onion pages, their websites, links connecting them to all their past incidents and victims and whatnot, connecting associated groups, connecting all that stuff. So basically, we're just going to build really big, detailed profiles on threat actors and just build an entire intelligence database surrounding ransomware and cybersecurity incidents and whatnot, and allow you to be able to browse that and explore it and monitor threat actors and stuff like that. Now, this isn't anything particularly like new, because there are other places for there are other services that already exist that are kind of similar. We just want to make it much more easier, much more accessible in a much better format, and kind of connect a lot of the dots for you and build more detailed profiles, because sometimes in the other databases you have to manually search a lot of that crap. So we're just going to make it very easy for you. And then we also want to have it so that rather than it just being our articles, we build feeds from, we build a collection from all these different feeds, all these different news sources, and then we display all those news articles here. And then whenever you click on it, it brings you to that news article, obviously. So that way Raven Intel will just become a giant hub for all things related to cybersecurity and stuff, and you can keep up with incidents that happen and whatnot. Now, let's talk about our software real quick. So the plan is, Resmon's pretty good. File diff needs to be entirely revamped, I think, so we're just going to do a total overhaul of that eventually. Redact CLI, we're dropping. Redact, we actually want to rewrite the Redact algorithm and make it a lot better, because while it is definitely a viable tool, there's a lot of things that could be better about it, because with really advanced forensics in certain conditions, that data still actually can be recovered, we found out. So we're just going to rewrite Redact's algorithm and make it a lot better. Scratchpad, we are going to rewrite the text engine, the text display engine, to use something called QScintilla, because it's the same thing that Construct uses, and it can display hundreds of thousands of lines smoothly, when Scratchpad actually struggles to open files with thousands upon thousands of lines of text. So it's going to make it a lot better, and also handling certain encoding formats and stuff a lot better. Construct is pretty much fine. It's just the icon's kind of fucked whenever you open it. AMP is honestly my favorite. I like AMP as is. And then Talon, again, the rewrite of Talon is incoming. Once all of our software is updated, and I'm pretty sure FileDiff and Redact are missing plugin support if I'm correct, but anyways, we're going to get plugin support implemented in all of our suite software, which is basically just all of our software excluding Talon. And after that, people will be able to write plugins for our software, which makes it extremely powerful, because you can obviously add custom, components to our software and stuff. Our software is very modular, and you can just write custom components and add stuff to the UI and whatnot. So it makes it very useful. Well, anyways, where can you get plugins? There's no direct place to get plugins and whatnot. So we're going to build an application that's going to act like a marketplace of sorts. It's going to be like have you guys ever used Linux, the software manager on Linux? If you guys don't know, basically it's like an app store. Okay, you open it up, and it just shows you can, obviously browse for stuff for all of our software, our different specific software, stuff like that. Then you'll be able to find custom themes, custom plugins, all community made and stuff, of course, but then it'll have to be manually approved by Raven. And then after it's approved, it'll get displayed in our thing, and then obviously you'll be able to use those plugins, and it'll make it very easy for someone to download our software, download that, browse plugins and themes, make it very nice. And if you guys didn't know, so I'm sure everyone can agree that this sucks. Windows 11 just looks like shit. I hate Windows 11 right now and its current state of it. So what we're doing is we're writing our own custom desktop environment. So the desktop environment's the desktop background, the icons, the taskbar, the start menu, the file explorer. That's essentially what your desktop environment is. So we're going to make our own, and it is in progress. And while I don't have anything to really show you guys right now, it is in the works, and it'll be really awesome when it's finished. So if you guys didn't know the long-term goal, we'll have all of this really cool software with plugin support, themes, all of that. You'll be able to debloat your system with Talon, and then we'll replace the optional software screen in Talon with asking you if you want a custom desktop environment. So you can either pick the regular Windows desktop environment or ours, and then you can download, and then it'll obviously install the desktop environment, and then you'll have a custom desktop environment with our Raven software on a debloated Windows system. So Windows will look good, actually respect your privacy, be performant, and we'll have custom, high quality, simple software that just works, and you can deck out customized to your liking with custom themes and everything. And then obviously after we get all of the local software stuff that we want to do done, which won't make us very much money. Obviously starting out, Raven's not going to make a whole lot of money, but then we're going to shift our approach once that's done to try to focus a little more on services like Hypert, because the services is where we're going to make our money. And then obviously commercial variants of our software, so like Redact CLI where it's enterprise only, stuff like that. Enterprise variants, we're going to make enterprise variants of our software to be used in companies and stuff. And then obviously those corporate clients will be making us the big money that we funnel back into community projects and community software and whatnot. That's generally the business model we have. That's generally the plan we have. That's what we're working on right now. I felt, again, I said it in the beginning, but I felt like I felt like it was worth it to just consolidate everything that we have planned, the entire plan, into a single video, just so it's totally clear what we're up to. This is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate plan. This is what I'm working on right now. If you guys have listened through and you believe that Raven's a good idea and you like what we're doing and you want to be a part of it, you want to try to help us out, you want to help try to make this become a reality, there's a donate button right here. Consider donating to us because it really helps us out. Like Darren J. Crane, this guy I can't pronounce, me, Tito, Tony, Wrath, this person, Misha, Magnus, coolest new guy, David, Kevin, Kel, Meet Again, Tree Bash, Roki the Brokey, Starry Sky, Michael, thank you all. And to anyone else who donates, thank you guys very much, because if you want to make this become a reality, literally, even if you just send us $5, it doesn't matter. Whatever amount of money you can send us means a lot. It's tremendously helpful because I don't know if you guys knew this, but doing LLC shit and trying to do all the shit that we're planning with Hypertech and all that, this shit is not free. It's not exactly easy either. So it definitely helps us a lot whenever we have some money to help us out with this operation. Enough rambling. Subscribe if you want. Please consider donating. That's about it.